Hello everyone, welcome to my kitchen. My name is Michael and it is time for another recipe. This is going to be one that you can use year round, but you typically see this around New Year's, and here in the South it is a good thing to have these around New Year's because a lot of people eat these on New Year's Day, and these are supposed to be one of these wives' tales, bring you good luck. So I've got a pound of black-eyed peas. This isn't a pound, I'll show you that in just a minute, but what we're going to do is we're going to take our peas and I'm going to dump them out on this counter here that you've got. And you want to prepare those first. That's going to be the first thing that we're going to do in our recipe today, is we want to inspect our peas to make sure we've got some good ones. And I pulled some of these bad ones out and I'll show you what they look like. I'll put them here on my hand. These are the kind of things that I look for when I'm going through my peas. If there's any bad spots on them, you want to take those out. Or if there's any discoloration to them, or if the peas split open, you can see there I've got some markings on them there. See if I can raise them up a little bit higher. I don't want to put those into my peas, so you want to go through those and make sure you get all of the bad ones out. And there might be some little chips or some type of little of the branches and things that might be from the plant that might be in there. So go through those, make sure you get all of that stuff out of there if there's anything in them. I didn't see anything in those when I went through my peas earlier, but I did see some bad ones. Definitely get those out. That's the first thing that you want to do. So once you've inspected your peas, we put them into a container. And if you've got the opportunity, we want to let those sit overnight, if preferable, if you have that much time. But if not, maybe 6 to 8 hours. And I'll show you another way that you can do that too. But you want to put your peas in a container and you want to put enough water over the top of them to cover them. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. You can see here the size of what they look like before they have actually soaked for at least overnight, or at least 6 to 8 hours. So you can see how much they've really swollen up. So when you're putting your water in with your peas, you want to make sure that you put enough in there to cover them, and maybe an inch or two more than that, because the peas are really going to swell up once they get into that water. And that's what we want to do. We want to make sure we get these ready to go so they cook a lot faster. And so if you don't have the opportunity to soak your peas overnight, or at least 6 to 8 hours, there's another way you can do it too, is you can put, after you've given them a good inspection and you've given them a good wash, I'm going to take these to the sink here in a minute, pour this water out and give these a good wash about 3 or 4 times. Make sure that the water is running clean on those, and then we'll get ready to start cooking those. So if you don't have the opportunity to soak them overnight or the 6 to 8 hours, what you want to do is, once you've got them cleaned and inspected, put them in a pot, bring them to a boil, turn off the heat, and just let them sit for about an hour. And that will speed up that process too, of able to get those beans ready to go. So you can do it either one of the two ways. I've had the opportunity here where I've let mine sit overnight, and that's the best way to do it. But if you need to in a rush, you can actually put them on, bring them to a boil, turn them off, and let them sit there for an hour, and that will kind of activate that a little bit to get that process started. So I'm going to take these to the sink, give these a good rinse in just a few minutes, and we'll move on to the next step with our beans. After that, I'll show you what that looks like. I want to talk about some of the flavors and some of the seasonings that the black-eyed peas are going to have in them. And you can actually make this a vegan version if you want to. You can leave out a lot of the meat that we've got here and just use the seasonings. You can season it with salt, pepper, some thyme. You can put some of those different seasonings there and keep the black-eyed peas vegan. But if you want the extra seasoning, if that's not something that you can look for, you can use salt pork meat here. This is raw salt pork meat. And you can put that in it, a few slices of that. When I was growing up, my mother used to use hog jowl. This is hog jowl. This is smoked hog jowl. And you would just cut, a slice of it, how much you want off of it. And this is a nice piece of meat for that also. If you don't have the opportunity to have the smoked meat, you can use something like a slice of ham. If you've got some ham left over from the holidays, you can definitely use that to use to season your peas. If you've got turkey, if you had any smoked wings or legs, or I've got some smoked turkey neck here, you can use those. And so you've got a different variety of different things you can use, from anything that's smoked. From the turkey neck, you can use the turkey thighs that are smoked, the turkey legs, the turkey wings. You can get those that are smoked. Sometimes you can't find those in your market. And so I'm just giving you different alternatives here of different things that you can put in them. But today I'm going to be putting bacon in mine. So I've got some bacon here that I've cut up in little pieces, and I've got about 6 pieces here, and I'll show you what the size of those look like. And I'm going to be putting bacon in mine. So everybody can usually get their hands on the bacon, so I'm going to be putting that in mine today. But if you've got some of these other things and you definitely like those better, any of it will do good. to add extra seasoning to your beans. So I'm gonna go give my hands a wash now after touching that, and we're gonna work on some of our other ingredients. All right, so you've got your peas inspected now, and you've got your water in those, and you've got those soaking. You've found out what type of seasoning you want on those. If you want any of the meats that I had mentioned there, or you can keep them vegan. You've got that settled now, and we're going to want to move on to our next things now. So I've got an onion here. This is a large one. I've cut it in half, and I'm just going to take this and I'm going to dice this up into little pieces, and that's going to be part of our base that we're going to start out with our black-eyed peas. Once you get to the middle like that, you can then turn it over on the side and continue to chop like that, and that way you don't have to balance that last piece of that onion up like that. And I just take these at this point and just give these a rough chop. All right, I've got my onions chopped up now, and that's about a cup of those. I'm going to put those to the side, and we'll go ahead and look at my garlic now. And I've got 4 pieces of garlic here, 4 cloves of garlic. And what I'm going to do with those is I'm just going to take the end off of those, and then I'm going to take the side of the knife here and just push down on it like that. And that'll pop that right open, and you'll be able to get that outer hard skin off of your garlic. Now that I've got that hard outer covering off of my garlic, I'm just going to take my knife here. I'm going to mince up my garlic. All right, I've got my garlic minced up now, and I want to put that to the side over here as well. And that is what we'll be chopping up for our ingredients today. So if there's anything in there that you like, if you like onions and you can actually put more in there, this is just a basis of where you can start with your black-eyed peas. If you like more garlic, you can do that. If you don't like garlic at all, you can leave that out. If you don't have any of these onions like that, you can substitute shallots for those. That would be a nice flavor to those. If you've got some green spring onions, you could put in those. Whatever you like, that's your choice to put those in there. That's what's nice about making these at home. So I've got these all chopped up now, and I'm going to go over here and get my peas rinsed. And I'm going to run those like through about 4 times until the water runs clear on those, and we'll get those drained out. So I'll be right back. I've got my peas rinsed now, and I did see a couple other ones in there that I missed when I initially went through those. So that's another opportunity that you can go through and see if you see any bad ones. And you might see some of the little skins. You can take those out if you want to. They come off after you soak them in water, and they'll come off. And you can actually, when you put them in your pot, they'll float to the top, and you can skim them off that way too. So if you don't want those in there, you can take those out as you're going through them. Now let's go ahead. I'm going to heat my pot up here. I've got a Dutch oven. You want something that's going to be fairly big. This is a 7-quart Dutch oven. And I'm going to heat that up. And I'm going to go ahead, if you're using bacon, we're going to go ahead and put the bacon into the pot now. Or if you're using some of your salt pork there, or some of your hog jowl, you can put that in at this point. If you're using one of the turkey legs or turkey necks, don't put those in right now. We just want to put the bacon or the ham. If you've got some ham, you can cut those up in little cubes. You can put that in here. You want to brown that and cook that through. While I've got my bacon cooking here, I think I'm going to put some celery in that. So I'm going to chop that up just like I would chop my little pieces of my onion up, and so that they'll cook about the same time that the onions do. You just want to cut those up into little pieces. That'll give it some nice crunch in those when those are done. So I wanted to show you what those look like. I just cut those up into little small pieces like that. So if you don't like celery, you don't have to put those in there. But sometimes at some foods and things, I just like that little bit of a crunch. I always put water chestnuts in a lot of things and salads and things I make. If I don't use the celery, I like the crunch that water chestnuts. That would be good in here also if you've got some of those that you might want to use. Like I said earlier, this is just the basics. You can start and add whatever you like to, whatever you and your family likes to get your black-eyed peas on the table. Just add it in it. There's hundreds and thousands of ways that we can do different recipes, and it's not written in stone that you have to do it one certain way, but just whatever you like to do. We're going to have some nice fond in the bottom of that pot there from this bacon as it cooks, and that will come off of that once we get ready to put our chicken stock into the pan here. That will release on that, give our peas some nice flavor. All right, I've got my bacon cooked down now. I wanted to show you what that looks like. You just want to make it so that it gets, done. If you're cooking your ham, just cook your ham the same way, or your fat back if you're using the salted pork. Now I've got my heat turned off. I'm going to take a slotted spoon, and I'm going to take my bacon out of here and leave the grease behind, because that's going to add such great flavor to our peas. as they call that here in the South where I'm at, that is liquid gold. All right, now that I've got my bacon removed, I've got my heat switch back on again, and we're going to leave the bacon grease that we had in there, and I'm going to now add in my onion, and we'll put that celery in also. And we're going to cook that until that is, you know, softened up a little bit. We'll look about 5 or 6 minutes on that to get those onions and that celery softened up. I'm going to turn my heat down to a medium low. This smells really nice. Those aromatics that we've got in there are releasing those oils from that onion into that bacon as well, and it's just really awakening all those flavors up. And that celery, I can smell that also. I've got some garlic over here, and that's really going to awaken everything up here. So we want to cook these until these are soft, and then we'll put our garlic in just a minute. Now, if you're making these vegan, you could actually use a neutral oil when you get ready to put your onions and your celery in, and you can cook those in a neutral vegetable oil. All right, so my onions and my celery are cooked down now. I'm going to grab my garlic. You definitely don't want to put your garlic in until right toward the end, because garlic does have a tendency to want to try to burn, and you don't want it to cook as long as the onions and the celery have cooked. So you want to cook that for about a minute, and that's just going to waken that up a little bit, and it'll release a lot of those aromatics from that garlic. I can already smell it now where they are coming through. So just a few more seconds, and then we'll get ready to move on with our peas. The garlic is ready to go now, so I'm going to go ahead and put my peas in. I'm just going to give that a stir around to kind of get some of that off of the bottom there and mixed in with the peas. See, this was a pound of beans, and you can see how much these have made. So you definitely want a big pot when you get ready to make these. And now I've got 4 cups of chicken stock. If you're keeping this vegan, then you can use a vegetable stock, or you can use water. And we want to cover our peas, and I'm gonna go grab a couple more cups of water and to cover that over. So I'll put about 6 cups in there, and that'll get those going. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my heat back up now. I'm gonna go ahead and grab another cup of water. All right, I've got another cup of water here. I'm gonna add that in. I've got a couple of bay leaves. We'll put those in and just give that a good stir through. I've got my flame back up on high again. We want to bring this up to a boil. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and put my bacon back in it now. And this is the point now, if you were using any of your other smoked meats like your turkey wings, your turkey neck, or your turkey thigh there, the drumstick, go ahead and add those in at this point. Now for our seasonings, depending on if the type of meat you're using, if it's got salt in it, you definitely want to hold off on putting any salt in it. I'm going to go ahead and put some black pepper in it, and I'm going to hold off on my salt to the end there, and then we'll be able to add salt at the end. If you put some in now and the meat's really salty, you might have too much in there and you've ruined your peas. So I'm going to leave that out till just about toward the end. I'm just going to put just a little bit of black pepper in, and we'll give that a stir through. If you've got any other seasoning that you want to add in, you can do that at this point. All right, my peas have come up to a boil now, and I've got some red pepper flakes. I'm going to put in a pinch of those, maybe about 20 or 25 of those, just for a little bit of heat. If you wanted to, you could put some jalapenos in there, or if you wanted a little bit more heat than the jalapenos, you could add some serrano pepper. One of those would be nice in there also. So at this point now, these are ready to go. I'm going to turn these down on low, medium, low, and we're going to cook these until they are tender. And if you like them more on the firm side, then definitely cook them to that level. Or if you want them a little bit more cooked, it will actually thicken the sauce up on it as well the longer you cook them, and the beans will continue to break down. I'm going to show you a trick at the end how you can do that if you like the beans on the firmer side. So we're just going to let these cook here on this with this lid on it. You want to come in and stir it on occasion. Don't want to go off and forget them. And you want to check your water level. You don't want the beans to cook down and the water to come off of them. So keep a watch on those. If you need to add a little bit more water to keep the beans covered, definitely do that. It depends on too how long you had the opportunity to soak your beans. If you've had them soaking as long as mine has, you might not have to put as much in there. But if you just put them in there initially, they might absorb a lot of that water. So keep a watch on them, keep stirring on them. We'll come back and check on you. I'll let you see what these look like when these are done. About an hour to an hour and a half, depending on how firm or how soupy you like your black eyed peas. So we'll be back, and I'll show you another trick we'll do to thicken this up. We'll be right back. All right, let's check on the peas now. It has been an hour. These look really good, and they're smelling incredible. I'm going to give that a stir. I have turned my heat source down while we check on these. And I'm going to go in here and take out these 2 bay leaves. We definitely don't want to leave those in there. They have done their job and we do not want to eat those. Here's the other one. That will be something you definitely don't want to try to eat. And let's give these a try and see what these taste like. At this point, we're checking for seasoning, if we need to add any more salt, pepper, or whatever else you'd like. Take a look at those. And I can tell by looking at them that they're done, just because you can push them with the back of this spoon. You can see here what I'm doing with the back of that. That indicates that those are really soft like that. If you don't want them cooked that soft, then definitely don't cook them as long. That's when you want to keep a watch on them to make sure that they are where your consistency that you like. So let's give these a try and see what we need to do to these. Those are absolutely delicious. They do need some salt. Like I had said earlier, this is where you want to check now for your seasoning. If you've got salt meat in there, you might not need as much. I didn't have a lot of salt in the bacon that I had cooked mine with. So I'm going to put a couple of sprinkles of that in there. I'll come back and test it again in a little while to see if I need to add any more. But I'm going to leave mine just the way that it is. I like the soupiness that we've got here, the consistency of my broth that's in my peas. If you like it a little bit on the thicker side, I'm going to show you something now. We don't want to cook these anymore because these will continue to break down and you won't have any peas left. You'll just have just a lot of mush in some broth. So what we're going to do is I'm going to grab some of the peas up and I'm going to put them into this clear bowl here so you can see what I'm doing. And then we'll take the back of a clean spoon and all we're going to do is mash those up just like that. And depending on how thick you want your broth to turn, you'll use more of the peas. So once you get these smashed down to that consistency like that, you can see how that is turned into a little creamy mash in the bottom of that bowl. You can take that now and we want to add that back to our peas. And that will thicken up your peas, the broth that's in there. So if you want to do some more to make it thicker, then grab some more of the peas out, give those a little smash in the bottom of something and put them back in there. Stir them around and cook them for another 10 or 15 minutes. I wouldn't cook them too much longer and they will thicken up just by doing that. I'm going to give these a few more minutes to cook with that salt in there. I'll come back and test them, see if I need to add anything else. And these will be ready to go. Definitely give this recipe a try. I know you're going to love it. This is just a basis of where you can start with your black-eyed peas. You can add anything in it that you like. If you want to try some of the different meats and things, you can definitely try some of those. They add such great flavor to them. And if you can't find a lot of the stuff, you can always rely just putting in bacon into it. That's why I made them the way that I made them tonight, so that at least you can see how you can make the recipe with just using bacon in them. If you like this content, maybe you might consider giving me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And while you're at it, check out one of these other 2 videos over here on the side. You might find something else you like. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave me a comment. I want to hear how your black-eyed peas turned out. If you did anything different to them, leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye now.